It was a normal October afternoon when Officer Winslow arrived at Ferguson's asylum with their new patient, already wearing a sufficient amount of handcuffs and shackles and even a straitjacket. The notorious killer Jeffrey Keaton, also known as Jeff the Killer, was in police custody and being transferred to Ferguson's asylum. Of course, Jeff himself was only 17 at the time, but he had already made a name for himself over the past year, already committing several grisly murders that started with the murder of his own mother alongside his accomplice, David Keaton, who mysteriously vanished right as Jeff was apprehended by Officer Winslow. Of course, as Officer Winslow stepped out of his cruiser, he opened the back door and practically yanked Jeff out by the arm, which was, of course, still wrapped in the jacket. "Come on, you twisted fucknut, I ain't got all goddamn day. I ain't waiting on your stupid ass either." Officer Winslow, once he got Jeff to his feet, quickly pushed him and marched him inside the front lobby of Ferguson's asylum, where, once they were in, an attendant quickly got Jeff into a wheelchair, and then they were met by the warden. Yes. I was wondering when our new patient would arrive. You did a mighty fine job, Officer Winslow, getting him here in a timely manner." It was Dr. Christopher Ferguson, the second generation owning this asylum. Of course, he was a 6-foot-tall, middle-aged, balding man with an obvious beer gut, well hidden behind a large jacket and dress suit underneath. Officer Winslow couldn't help but snicker as he gently pushed the wheelchair with Jeff in it back and forth in a teasing manner while speaking with Mr. Ferguson. "Well, I can't. It's nice of you to say that, Doctor, but honestly, this twisted little fag ain't gonna be getting out anytime soon, is he? I mean, I don't want to be porking his mother over the freaking table and old emo boy Jeffrey be walking in, That ain't, that ain't a no-go right there, on me. You know what I mean, man?" "I understand completely, but I will be honest with you. I don't know. It depends on our young friend's cooperation with our procedures and tests. There is a slim possibility he will be reintroduced into society." As he said this, he couldn't help but look down at Jeff with an odd smile. Jeff just blankly looked back with pale green eyes, trying to figure out what type of emotion Dr. Frederick Ferguson was giving off. "Now, I will properly introduce myself to our new patient, Jeff. I am Dr. Christopher Frederick Ferguson. Some people call me Christopher. Most call me Frederick. You, Mr. Keaton, can call me Dr. Ferguson. I hope that's quite all right, my friend." Of course, Jeff just blankly stared up at the doctor and slowly nodded, not really wanting to cause an argument at the moment. But Officer Winslow was very quick to start, well, being himself. Well, let me ask you this, Doctor, since I'm about to hit the fucking road anyway. You ever get in the back there and have, some fun with any of them females? I mean, they're crazy. No one would believe anything they say. I just had to ask, man. I think that will be all the time I have for you today, Officer Winslow. I will be seeing you around. Bring me more patients, or whoever the court decides needs to be put in my care. Getting the hint he was no longer wanted around, Officer Winslow began to leave, leaving one last remark for Mr. Keaton. Well, see you around, you little fucking faggot. You fucking fag. Once Officer Winslow was gone, a large orderly quickly grabbed the back of the wheelchair and wheeled Jeff through it 2 double doors and into the rest of the asylum, where he was quickly shown around different facilities that he would have access to. Yes, Jeff, there's the pool area, and there's the recreational yard. Now I must warn you, here at our facility, these are privileges that, given bad behavior, can be very swiftly taken away. I hope we reach an understanding on that, Mr. Keaton. Why am I here, Doctor? Jeff would say in a very monotone, soft voice. Almost caught off guard by this, Dr. Frederick Ferguson looks down at Jeff and simply smiles, but there is no joy behind it. Because, Jeffrey, you are broken. You are not worth society's time in your current form. Much like your face, your psyche is scarred and deformed. We will help you with that. It is only fair, after all. It is what we do here at Ferguson's Asylum, where your mental health is our top priority. Now, let's get you to your cell. It's nice and padded, and I assure you, you'll be calling it home for quite some time. The orderly continues to push Jeff down the hallway, keeping pace with Dr. Ferguson, who walks beside them, making random conversation about whatever he sees, but Jeff begins to just tune it out as he's slowly wheeled to his room. Eventually, they reach a large gray door with a glass window on the left side of it, right above the doorknob. Here we are, Jeffrey. Your cell number will be 1428E. But don't worry. You won't have to truly remember your cell number, because we will remember it for you. Now, I'm afraid it's rather late in the day, and your therapy circle for the day has already passed, so I'm afraid you won't be able to meet any of your future colleagues here today. But You'll be more than capable of sleeping in your new room. Food will be brought to you in about an hour or so. I certainly hope you are patient." Right after saying this, the door is opened and Jeff is wheeled inside the room and allowed to get up from the wheelchair. And after standing and walking around the room, it's a complete rat's nest. The bed is laying on the floor, no frame, just a mattress and a couple pillows, with incredibly dirty and ripped up sheets and pillowcases. There is a somewhat put together desk in the corner, and the mirror that's on the wall isn't even glass, but insanely polished metal. And when Jeff looks at it, all he sees is most of his face covered by a face mask, ensuring he doesn't attempt to bite anyone, almost resembling Hannibal Lecter. Once the door closes, Jeff is left alone with a couple old magazines that were sitting on the coffee table in the corner and the desk. At least he has some furniture, but it's not much, and the magazines are almost 6 years out of date anyway. Nothing relevant. And after about an hour, much like Dr. Ferguson said, a tray of food is brought to him. Nothing more than a hot dog, a couple pieces of bread, and some water. Something put together rather quickly. Jeff just has some of the bread and half of a hot dog, and of course drinks the water. And he does keep track that he does have a full roll of toilet paper and a toilet in his room, so they're not complete animals. But eventually the lights automatically turn off at 9 p.m., and Dr. Ferguson slightly opens the door to give Jeff a message. "I'm afraid it's lights out, Jeffrey. Is there going to be a problem with that?" No, sir. I I don't like it here. Jeff would say in an almost frantic voice, not really able to do much about his situation. Not wanting to be there and wanting to be out looking for his brother David, who he had not been apart from for this long his entire life. But Dr. Ferguson just smiles and gives Jeff a weird look he can't really even place. Dr. Ferguson then begins to shut the door, leaving Jeff with one message. "Now, Jeff, it's past your bedtime. So, as you say to a lot of what your victims once were, go to sleep." And with that, Dr. Ferguson shuts the door and closes the blind on the outside, basking Jeff in nothing but darkness, save for a window high above his head facing towards the night sky that lets a thin ray of moonlight shine in. And Jeff is left alone with his thoughts. Not a place he liked to listen to quite often, since it was what got him in this mess in the first place. But Jeff eventually does roll around in his bed for a couple hours and attempts to sleep. But nothing comes of it for a good while until about 4 in the morning, when he finally manages to shut his eyes and pass out, drifting into a dark, dreamless sleep that he hopes to not be woken from for a while. End of chapter 1.